It looks like it's adding port 80. So what exactly is Terraform state? Why would editing it manually be a bad idea? What is state drift? How can you detect state drift? And then how can you fix state drift? Let's recap episode 3 before we get into state. We've created our server. We've added an SSH key. We've added some appropriate firewall rules. Now, Terraform knows all of this because it's in the state. So what is state? Well, Terraform state is like its memory. Everything you've done with it, every resource you've created with it is stored in terraform.tf state. This maps your Terraform code to your actual resources. So let's take a look at my Terraform state file. You may look at this and think, oh yeah, this isn't a big deal. I could easily modify this. Whatever you do, don't. Moving stuff around in this file is worse than somebody moving around your coffee beans. So let's just agree that we're going to leave this file alone. Then what is state drift and how does that happen? State drift is when you modify something on the server without telling Terraform. So if we came into one of these firewalls, like our SSL firewall, right? And we decide, hey, you know, we're just going to add another rule and we're going to say this is for port 80. And we're going to go ahead and allow port 80 through this same rule. You can see that the console updated everything and we would seem as though we're in good shape. But if we run Terraform plan, the Terraform plan tells us when there are going to be changes that are made. So this is how we could detect state drift. We can see that Terraform is saying, hey, by the way, you have this SSL firewall rule that allows 443 and 80. Well, we're now going to change this to only allow 443. So it's detected that we've made a modification on the server. So we could see how dangerous this would be if we continually made modifications on the server. The deviation would get wider and wider, and Terraform is going to be constantly attempting to correct that, possibly undoing changes that we really need to have made. So you might say that Terraform doesn't forgive and forget if you're just going to make changes outside its scope of knowledge. It expects you to honor what it does. Now, there's basically two ways that I can think of, and based on my research, that we could resolve drift. One is to make the server or what's in the cloud match what's in Terraform, so we could delete that rule that we've created, such as just going back into the console, deleting this rule, saving our changes. Now, if we run Terraform plan, you can see there's no changes. The other option with that rule added back in is we can run Terraform refresh. Now, if we run Terraform plan, so it's my understanding that Terraform refresh was supposed to get the current state of the server and update our code, but it didn't do that. Okay, the reason running Terraform refresh doesn't solve all of our problems is because all it does is update state. You can see that it's still planning on changing the server back to what it was. So now our state matches, but our code doesn't. So we essentially need to take this rule here and add it to our state file. So there's still going to be this manual process where we have to update our file, our state file, to make sure that it matches what's on the server. So I added the additional rule to my TF file. So now I believe if I run Terraform plan, it should say there's no changes. Let's see. Okay, I figured out what the problem is. For source IPs in my TCP AP, in my TCP port 80 firewall, I only have IPv4, and in the rule on the server, it also has IPv6. So I just need to add the firewall rule for IPv6. Let's see if it works now. I believe I know what's going on here. I believe what the problem is when I run Terraform refresh, it's telling me the changes it sees. I have to run a Terraform apply refresh only to update my state. Then if I do a Terraform plan, it should possibly not see all our changes. I think that's right based on this. So the Terraform refresh command has been deprecated for Terraform apply refresh only. I'm going to see if running that, it actually Okay, so now it's saying, hey, do you want to update state to detect these changes? So I would say yes. Now, if I run Terraform plan, it still detects multiple changes to make because there are still differences. So you can see, I mean, from this, I can definitely tell it's a huge challenge once your infrastructure in the cloud has been modified to get your state to match. Theoretically, be looking through this, you should be able to at least make sure that everything matches. It looks like it's adding port 80. Did I mess up? Oh, do you see what I did? I added my port 80 rule to the wrong firewall. There we go. I can't believe I did that. So a couple of silly mistakes there for sure, but this really illustrates well to me, at least, when I want to modify my cloud infrastructure. I really want to be doing it in the Terraform file. It gives me the option to have code reviews, so there's another set of eyes of somebody that could look at it, and somebody else could have pointed out, hey, by the way, you're adding port 80 to your SSH firewall, not your SSL firewall, which you would want to edit to your SSL firewall anyway. My takeaway is don't make changes in the console. Use infrastructure as code. That way you avoid state drift. In the next video, I'm going to be playing around with variables, outputs, and structure and just see what I can do with those and how they can help me enhance my Terraform infrastructure. If you're enjoying this content, consider subscribing as we learn Terraform together. I'll see you in the next one.